Hello, my name's Ian, I'm from the Baxi training team. Today I'm going to be introducing you to the Baxi 400 Combi 2. It comes in 24 and 30 kilowatt outputs, both in natural gas and LPG. It has a 5-year parts and labour warranty and comes with all brass hydraulics. In this video I'm going to be showing you what's in the box, servicing and how to take it apart, and some features and benefits. Everything you would expect, just a little bit Baxier. Okay, so let's get the box open. Inside, what you'll find is your warranty registration documents, your wall hanging template, installation, user and fluing guides, simple wall mounted bracket, pipework connections including tails for water and gas and condensate run, also not forgetting the filling loop, and of course we help the boiler, complete with vertical packaging. Okay, so let's give you an overview of the boiler. At the top here we have our centre flue, including the test points for doing your commissioning. Outside here we have a Schrader valve, outside of the case, making it easy to test your expansion vessel. Further down we've got very simple to use controls for the customer. For you, we have the barcode here to register the boiler. To remove the case, simply loosen the 2 screws at the bottom and pull the case away. So going from the top, we have our rainwater drip tray. Any rainwater comes down the air intake, it will run down the tube into the condensate trap, removing any possibility of damaging the boiler. Our stainless steel G-only heat exchanger, reliable, tried and tested, as is the Cool Touch burner door, double skinned so that if the boiler's been on and you're trying to service it, you can still remove the burner. Here we have a silencer making the boiler very, very quiet, and here we have a 7-litre expansion vessel with an enlarged hose to remove the chance of blockages. Moving further down to the hydraulics, all brass, making it reliable. What we have here is a pressure sensor, meaning you can read the gauge on the front, and a drain point incorporated into the pressure relief valve. We'll be looking at that in more detail later. Fully modulating ERP pump and a Residio gas valve. So what you see there is some familiar stuff and some new, building in that reliability we've built over years and improving where we can. Okay, so let's move on to the wiring. Drop the front panel down and we've got an easy access hatch here. With the wiring diagram, colour coordinated, making things very simple. As you can see, I've fed the wire through the correct size grommet. There's a range of options there. You select the right one for the wire that you're using. That's for the high voltage side. If you're using low voltage, you select one of these 3 grommets and you come through separating the high and low voltage. So moving on to actually wiring into the board. So I'll start with my permanent live neutral and earth. As you can see, the block is removable, making things very simple. The same applies for my switch live, going out to my room thermostat. 240 volt link, you can take it out, wire it in, so if you're in a tight space, a cupboard for example, this makes it very simple. If I am going to use low voltage, either for open firm or maybe outdoor weather compensation, I'm using the low voltage side over here. And what I've got is my open therm connection. If I'm going to use load compensation, that's on the red block, and here, the block next to it on the grey one, that's for my outdoor weather sensor. Polarity is irrelevant, just wiring them straight in. So now it's all wired up, let's move on to commissioning. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what you're going to see when you first power the boiler up and talk through some of the reasons we have to do deaeration. All the indicators illuminate on first power up. Then it moves through to the initialisation stage. It will show you the parameter number of the board, and it will go to the pressure, which must be over 1 bar. Once it's done that, it will move to a series of dashes. That's a countdown. It's a 5-minute deaeration. Deaeration is important to clear all the air out so it doesn't damage the main heat exchanger. It will go down for about 5 minutes. The dashes will disappear over the 5-minute countdown. All you have to remember is to maintain the pressure. The diverter valve will move up and down and the pump will go on and off. Once it's all finished, the boiler will be in normal operation and you'll be able to fire it. So now the deaeration is completed, what you can see on the display is it says OK and the pressure's at 1.2 bar. There's no symbols on here at the moment because at the moment I've got the heating off. It's a summer-winter switch, so very easy for the customer to use. If they don't want the heating on in the summer, they can just turn the dial down and the heating will go off. The same for the hot water. So we're going to turn both of these on. You wait for the display to go back to normal. And now you can see my heating indicator is flashing. I've got a heating demand and it will run through its sequence and fire the boiler. To put the boiler into commissioning mode, I simply press the two left-hand buttons. On release, I'll get a capital L, which is low fire, and the boiler primary flow temperature. Either of these dials means I can move it to central heating maximum, that's the small h, or to hot water maximum, which is the large H. To come out, simply press the return button. It will last in commissioning mode for 20 minutes, or bring it out early if you want to. So now, what I'm going to do is run you through a full service. What to take apart and what to look for. Make sure that the gas and electricity is isolated. Pull the front flap down, undo the union for the gas. Now that's just a 3/4 standard washer, so there's no worry about having to replace that. You'll be carrying that in your toolkit. Then remove the wires to the gas valve and to the fan. Once I've done that, get a 10mm socket or spanner, undo the connections around the burner plate. Remove the spark electrode and its earth tag, and then the whole section comes away. Now, what I'm looking for if I'm going to do this in a service, I'm looking for the insulation round here. I'm looking at the state of the burner, making sure there's no debris build up. Make sure your electrodes are about 3-4mm apart, and make sure that the edge is parallel with the burner. What we can see on here, we've got our burner seal. This one's nice and springy, and that's what I'm looking for. You don't have to replace the burner seal on every service. All you have to do is make sure it's in good condition, and if it is, reuse it. You can see it's a serrated edge burner holding the flame closer to the burner, giving you more heat per square inch. Moving on to the heat exchanger, all I would do is brush around that, make sure that any debris, you can pour some water down, it'll run into my condensate trap and run away. If there was a lot of debris build up on the heat exchanger, I'd get a bottle spray of white vinegar, about a 50% solution, 50% white vinegar, 50% water. I'd spray around my heat exchanger, leave it for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then give it a brush, and again pour water down, about 500ml, down into my heat exchanger, flushing any debris out into my condensate trap, which I can then remove and flush out. On the service, it's always good practice to check my expansion vessel as well. Test point on the outside of the case, making it very easy to charge. Drain the water out through the drain point here, charge it up to 0.7 to 1 bar. Fundamentally, we only need 0.7. If you go to 1 bar, don't worry about the hiss as you release a Schrader valve. Put some leak detector fluid on top of the Schrader valve just to make sure it's not leaking. Once I've done that, reassemble in reverse order and move on to your standard checks. Now I'll recap on the main features and benefits of the 400 Combi 2 boiler. It's a compact cupboard fit boiler that can be installed in a 300mm deep kitchen cupboard. Got a simple hanging bracket with a low lift weight of 30 kilograms, so it's easier and safer for installation. Top and central flue positions using our multi-fit options up to 20 meters. It's compact yet spacious. All components can be easily removed from the front, and it's got a stainless steel heat exchanger for proven reliability and peace of mind. And it's quiet, which is great for the homeowner. Certified to work with 20% hydrogen, which means we can help reduce our carbon emissions in the future. Overall, it's a great boiler. So that's it for the Baxi 400 Combi 2. If you want to know any more information about this or any of our other products, including the new Baxi 200 Combi 2, contact your local area sales manager or visit our website. This is a great boiler, made a little bit Baxier.